devious right there.
Man, they did. Seen it yet? I see you. Oh my God. Andrew would have flipped.
Oh, you didn't see a naked guy come running down.
If they would have seen that, brought everybody in there and filmed it. And then I would have bowled that big old giant metal clunking pot down that tile floor, that hallway about 1 a.m. and go back to bed. Oh my God. Billy would have come out of his skin.
Oh.
Big. That's a bass, it's a giant. All right, guys, start of day number 1. I think this is the first time I've actually talked to you guys on camera. About to roll. This is Lake Lewisville, Bassmaster Open number 4. Got an opportunity in the points. It won't be in this division, it'll be in the combined. I really got to do good in this one if I want to make it through the combined effort. If this thing ends up being a complete crap show, it's okay, I can still make it. I think I'm 14th or 15th in the Eastern, so I can make it through there alone, but I give myself a double chance because I'm 14th in the points overall. If I could catch them here and catch them there, then possibly have 2 chances to get into the Elite Series. So riding with my homeboy Billy.
Hey, there y'all.
Billy is back from the Arkansas River in Oklahoma, so he rode with me before. So even though there's 264 boats, you got 1 in 200 chance basically, and he's drawn the lottery and he's drawn me twice. So this is his home lake, so I'll be asking him some questions today probably. But anyway, we are going to roll out here on this pond and do the best we can do. It's been a grind all week, guys, just kind of like I told you a little bit in the practice video. It's not easy out here. The good thing is that on any cast you could catch a big one, and 7-8 pounder catches you up quickly. So never going to give up on today, because at any point you can catch up really quick. That's one thing I love about lakes that have big fish in them. Even if they're tough, you can catch up really quick. So let's see how this goes.
I will run it. Yep. Thank you.
Gotcha, straight ahead, y'all are
69, my favorite number. What's up, bro?
350.
There you go.
Well, look who moved in. Yep. Mr. Slab. I knew I was seeing big fish down there, but they're not bass. So, if you're watching the video, fellas, this is the same spot I caught that 7 pounder off of, but now it's got them, and he probably eats them for a living. That's probably why he's there. We're gonna try a couple more casts, then we go. Starting to wonder about my bites that I've been having in practice and shaking off.
All right.
Yeah.
Big old crap.
There's a keeper. Hot dog, we got one on. Big old spot. Made the right decision. Come back to, as Billy says, where there's life. It is Billy, right?
It is Billy.
I called you John earlier. Did you hear me say that?
I did not.
I did. Life. like them apples. Big. Ah. One big and bad. Looks long. His mouth is shut. Touch it right there. This guy, dude, never seen anything like it. Gotta be kidding me. That is a bite. Maybe it's not. There's no way it did it 3 times in a row. God, it feels just like a bite. That has to be a fish. There's no way that's anything but a fish. Lost, keep it. Lost, and keep it. Big. That's a bass. It's a giant, but I don't think it is. That's a bass. There's no way it's a bass. It's jerking too weird. What is that?
Oh, catfish.
That wasn't a catfish.
You sure?
Positive.
It's like, oh.
I wish that had been a bass.
Oh, yeah.
Help me land this thing. We want to get a Bonefish Wednesday. Shit. Lost my spinnerbait. I had her. How much do you think that thing weighed? 60?
Big.
That may be one of the biggest fish I've ever turned right there in my life in a bass boat. It was a giant carp. Looked like a big grass carp. Kind of want to change colors anyway. Maybe that's why they're not hitting it very good. I was like, dude, if this is a bass, it's game over.
Yeah. No kidding.
I'm leaving.
Yeah. Dude, it's all about it.
That's a bass. That's big. Get in here.
Do that, man.
Number 4.
Five fish for Terry. Good sack of fish right there. Here we go. Here's a mover and a shaker. Watch the scales, folks. 5 fish limit, 14 pounds and 2 ounces, all the way up into 5th place. Well done. Get a quick photo right here, Terry Bull. Hey, Brandon Hallman. Sorry. Multitasking. Go ahead, we're good. We're all good. You doing all right? All right. 3 fish, 6 pounds, 3 ounces, 26 plates. Not too bad.
So that's the end of my day one. As you guys can tell, I didn't weigh the 4th fish. The fish is 14 inches. It's just a line burner. And I went through this at Rayburn. I had one at Rayburn that went really, really easy in my opinion. Mouth closed, tail touched. And I just didn't want to take a risk on it. I mean, I really had to make a really hard decision at the end of day one whether to try to weigh that fish. But the deal is with the way the Bassmaster works, the rules is that you lose that fish, but not only do you lose the weight of that fish, you get a 2-pound penalty on top of what you had. Well, I know that I've only got 6 pounds as it is, and I know this is going to be a grinding tournament, and I don't know what's in store for me tomorrow. Is it a 15-pound bag? Is it another 6-pound bag? I don't know. I don't even know at this point what it's going to take to get a check. So I'm listening to the weights while I'm sitting there trying to make a decision, and most of the guys only have 1 or 2 fish. I would have loved to weigh in 4. It wouldn't have been but another pound, pound and a quarter is all that fish would have weighed. I decided not to weigh that fish and risk it. It's just too risky. So I think at the end of this tournament, it ends up being the right decision because I do get a check, and it's just by a couple of spots. And if I would have gotten that 2-pound penalty, there's no way I make that. So I've got to remember what I'm here for the long haul. I'm here for the points. I'm here trying to qualify for the elites. So I decide not to bump that, to try to take that fish across the bump board. I actually had a conversation with Keith Combs right before while I was making this decision, and he told me that he as well had one that was really close, and he was going to bump it on his Ranger board. He ended up trying to put that fish through, and he felt like it would go no problem. When he was in front of me, and when we got to the boat to the bump tank, that fish got kicked out. And Keith still had a pretty good bag. He had a limit that day before that fish was kicked out, but he still ended up with 12 pounds. That's with a 2-pound penalty. So Keith was looking at having a 15 to 16 pound bag that day, Combs was. So that decision hurt him as well. He went on to make the top 10 and he recovered from it. So that decision is personal for each person and kind of the situation you're in. And for me at the time, it wasn't worth me trying to risk that. And I'm glad I didn't at this point. So let's move on to day 2 and let's see how it goes. 4 o'clock check-in.
All right, buddy.
I see you.
Well, they left before us. We gonna fish it.
Bill McDonald.
Do what? Largemouth. I got a couple spots off of it yesterday. No, dude, that wasn't me that said that. I didn't care. No, I know. Dude, I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't upset. I was just flipping around to be in the wind to fish that roe bed or that ram. I couldn't believe it was open when I idled out here. I was like, no, you wasn't bothering me at all, Bubba. Oh yeah, dude, it's a retread hole. Hell, I don't give everybody might be 5 of us here, you know what I mean?
Right.
Cassabine's like, yeah, I did the yours. That's what size I caught here yesterday. I caught a bunch of them. That ain't no little one.
They're better ones.
It's heat. But I hate that with this guy because he's the fish Nazi. Touches 14. He goes. Y'all being steady?
Trying to make honest living about it, man.
Got 3 of them suckers. Yep. Cool. How Hackman caught 17 yesterday, I can tell you that right now, by looking at the water.
Yeah.
That's how you flip it. Now give me one of them big ones.
That was nice. That was quick. God, I hope. I can tell you that this right here is the right looking stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I've flipped enough in my life, I know. What are those fish doing biting this late in the tournament in a place that's this tough? Why are them shallowfish? Because everybody got so locked in, didn't they? Everybody got locked in on offshore bite, didn't they? Yep.
We're about to flip some bedlam up. I'll lay enough out there for you and me both. I mean, since it is bedlam and all this week, you might as well flip them.
I'll do it.
They're all laying right there. Holy cow. Barely hooked. Barely hooked. Number 5. Oh. Come here. Barely hooked.
Spinnerbait.
Little bitty crankbait, little bitty hooks. Come here. Come here. Yes! 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 I got 5 of them suckers. 5 of them suckers. Holy cow. Give me some, bro. Hey, come on, be a bass. Another 14, 13, 3/4. I thought it was bigger when I set the hook. 13-incher until by his mouth. I know y'all want us to go out there and do a donut.
Yeah.
Come back around. Y'all doing all right?
Yeah, right now.
Good.
Yeah, I think he's in a good mood today.
Really?
I think the fish knots is in a good mood today. Yeah.
On days that you catch 25 pounds, you want more. On days that you catch 30 pounds, which I've only done once in my life, I had 32, and I wanted more. I think it's a fisherman's way. Dude, I can't believe I caught 5. I can't believe I caught 5. So
this is the end of day 2. I caught 5, and the fish Nazi was good to me. The fish Nazi's the guy at the bump board. You know, the suit Nazi, if you've ever watched Seinfeld, I've been calling the bump board guy the fish Nazi all year because I got a fish kicked out at Rayburn that I still to this day think it's 14, but whatever. Got all 5 across the scales, but I want more. That's what this is about. Like, dude, there's guys up there just weighing in 2 bass, and they weigh 10 pounds, and my 5 weighed 9 pounds. So, like, I worked my tail off, which you just watched, and my 5 just aren't. I never caught a big one. I don't know. I mean, part of it's the shaky head or the Ned rig, right? I mean, we know that, but dude, I caught a 7-pounder in practice on it, and like, just one good one, man. I mean, somewhere to give me some weight, but never had that opportunity. Thankful that I caught 5. This is the end of the Central Division. I knew I wasn't going to make it to the Elites going into this event with just the Central Division alone. It's the total points, though, between the Central and the Eastern that I may still have a shot. I did nothing but help myself this week, no doubt about that. So I got some good points. We're off to the last one. We are going to have to crush them whenever I get to wherever we're going. Lake in Alabama, I believe is where we're headed. Billy,
Yo.
the house sucked. The house sucked. We got one more event left. We're almost done.
I'll be honest, man. I love you, but y'all starting to embarrass me.
We're starting to embarrass ourselves, dude. Starting to embarrass ourselves. We've got one left. We're gonna try our best not to embarrass you. If any one of us goes there and hits a home run, it could be that ticket to the Elite Series that we've been looking for. But we're gonna have to have the home run. Scott can play it a little safe. I'm definitely gonna have to have the home run. Castledine will have to have the home run. But we like trying to hit home runs, so we're looking forward to that.
They feel good when you hit them.
They feel really, really good when you hit them. Billy, close this thing out.
All right. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Bam!
All right, we rolling through Oklahoma City. It's the next morning after the tournament's over. It's a Saturday after the event. Looking back, you know, I mean, this is what I do when I drive home is go through the thought process of things that I did that I could do different or do better. Kind of close out the event. I ended up finishing 39th. You know, I had a limit on the last day, which was a big deal. They pay 40 spots, so I did get a check. It's tough to get checks even in these opens, just for the simple fact that, you know, we're running 160 to 200 boat tournaments, and they pay 40 spots. And the 40 spots doesn't change if there's 200 of us or 150 of us. They still only pay 40 spots, and it's just not a very big percentage of the field. So that's another check, and salvage some points, which is what I needed and what I went into. You know, I really needed top 30 place finishes. Finished 39th, and really looking at the points this morning, man, I really needed a top 10 in the Central, because I'm further down in the points in the Centrals than I am in the Easterns. In the Easterns, I'm like 15. So there was a lot more room to make up in the Centrals in the overall AOY, the combined, and I really could have got it done this week if I hadn't had my blind spots. And dude, I had a really bad blind spot this week. I've been watching live this morning what those guys are doing that are in the top 12, the leaders, is like, that is my deal. Like 100% Willow Tree, Oklahoma, like that is it. And I never even saw it. Never looked at one in practice. Thought the lake level was too low. Had blind spots. Yesterday you saw me go into an area, and I talked about how it's happening. As soon as I saw a willow tree yesterday, now you got to admit, I practiced for 4 days and then 2 days of events. So on the 6th day, I pull in on a willow tree, just because I'm just trying anything to catch a keeper. And I did catch one out of a willow tree. But as soon as I saw the depth and what they looked like, I knew that it existed in other places on the lake and that I'd missed it. The area of the lake that I fished and stayed in, I just kind of went off of history and some things that I'd heard about this place, information, that it was really just kind of a general area of the lake, and I tried to stay in that general area, which was down by the dam and take off. And that type of cover just didn't exist. This is at the far reaches, northern ends, which is where it would be, especially at low water levels. I just didn't see that playing. Like, I didn't realize there was that much and that it looked that good. And they're just killing them out of it. Hackney, I knew after day one when Hackney had 17 that there was a chance that he probably was looking at something that looked very Oklahoma. And it hurts to come home and know that that laid out there and I never even got to touch it. But like I say, I grounded out, did the best that I could do with where I was. There just weren't very many fish being caught from where I was in that part of the lake. There may have been a couple of top 10s. If they are, I don't know exactly who they are. I knew there was some nice bags the first day that came from that area, but 2 days in a row, hard to do anywhere on that lake. But I've done this my entire career. I let my versatility take me out of my game sometimes where, man, I just didn't see that coming. And it's just a matter of just driving a boat to a certain different part of the lake and looking at the bank, which I never did. I just got so locked in to that offshore stuff. After I caught that big one on first day of practice, it hook, line, and sinkered me, you know. And I'm talking to Castledine, and he caught a 4.5 and had some other nice bites offshore. And I just really thought that's how this thing was going to go down. And, you know, the leaders, I'm sure, you know, at one point were brush pile fishing and some offshore stuff, but this thing's going to be won by a guy in a willow tree, more than likely. And, man, I should have known. I wished I would have. I wished I would have known. I wish I'd have paid better attention. But it's over. We're headed to Lay Lake for the last one. I've still got a fighting chance. It's an outside chance. I'm going to Lay Lake with everything that I got and trying to win an event. There won't be any laying around trying to, I mean, like I'm going to go do the things that I can win a tournament doing. And if I don't get bid, I don't get bid. Like I'm no longer trying to grind out a check, grind out a top 30. Like I've got to go for the gusto. So it's top 5 or bust. That's pretty much what it is. And that's what you're going to see in the last event at Lay Lake. Appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe, bump the likes, leave the comments below. Tell me what you guys have ever had blind spots before. I want to hear about them. Dude, you can get the blinders on. You can get too keyed in on something. Try to stay open-minded. I've talked about this a lot on this channel. You just saw me this week not do it. And I'm feeling the pain this morning on my drive home. Look forward to seeing you guys next time. See you. I'm out of here.
Thank you.